Hi, this is Connie Moser. I'd like to welcome you to Nights at the Round Table. My guest tonight is my good friend Cindy Brookshire from Manassas, Virginia. And we have just a couple of questions we're going to talk about. It's very relaxed. We want to welcome our viewers, all two of them. And we hope you're going to enjoy this. And so I'll just start off with a question if you don't mind.
That's great,
Is
Connie.
that okay? All right. You started a local writers group right by the rails.
It's a writers networking group. I've actually lived in Manassas for 30 years, and I've always been a part of a manuscript group. That's where writers bring whatever they're currently working on, read it, get criticism and feedback. But the group that I started recently with some other co-founders is a networking group where we figure out where all the different manuscript groups are that meet at the county libraries and churches, and then also get information about book signings, who's got something coming up at a bookstore. So exchanging information, and then doing casual like meetups at Panera or a coffee shop like Simply Sweet on Main. And then we recently organized enough that we have monthly meetings.
Is it a large group?
Well, it started out small. Actually, I watched what happened with the Prince William Arts Council and the building of the Hilton Performing Arts Center, and I saw all these other music, dance, theater groups really come into their own in the past 20 years, and writers pretty much are like cats. We like to do our own thing, go our own way, but yet we really do need to support each other and encourage each other. So when I saw that, I met with some other writers, Catherine Goddard, Pete Pasmino, Sheila Lamb, and we said, well, let's start this networking group. But also at the same time, this was January 2011, the Prince William Arts Council started accepting individual writers as members. So all four of us joined the Arts Council. So there were four of us, and then we thought, well, we need to pull some more people into this. So we had a meeting at Okra's in Old Town Manassas. 12 people came, and it just began to grow more and more. So we went ahead and applied to become the Prince William chapter of the Virginia Writers Club, so that people who are in Prince William don't have to go to the Northern Virginia chapter up in Arlington or Alexandria, or they don't have to go down to Richmond to the James River Writers. They can have their own organization right here. And in November, we became the Prince William chapter of the Virginia Writers Club. And then at the same time, we applied to the Arts Council, since we now are a group, to become a group member. And as of yesterday, the board of directors of the Prince William Arts Council voted us in as a new group member.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, it's an exciting day.
So what's the requirement for membership to be in the writers group?
Being right by the rails, again, we're like cats, no dues. You just meet up. We have a monthly meeting coming on January the 17th at Trinity Episcopal Church at 7 o'clock, and that'll be our regular monthly meeting, the third Thursday of the month at 7 o'clock at Trinity Episcopal Church. And then anyone can show up for that meeting. They can show up for the meetups at the Paneras or whatever, but we encourage people to also become a member of the Virginia Writers Club. Our charter says at least 5 of our members have to be members of the Virginia Writers Club. And we actually have 137 members who network on Facebook, and then another 20 that don't do Facebook. So there's like 150 writers out there that live in this area, but our only requirement is for 5 to join the Virginia Writers Club. So there's no dues, and that seems to make writers more comfortable.
When you say writers, are they all authors? Are they book writers? Are they
a wide range? Like today, I went on Facebook because I found out Habitat for Humanity is looking for a new communications director, someone who knows how to write. So there's plenty of writers in this area who work for government agencies. They do copywriting, proofreading, that type of thing. Then there are people that do novels. There's teachers. We have professors that are members. We have high school teachers who are members. So it's just anyone in any walk of life that is interested in writing, whether it's poetry or essay or whatever.
Well, so are people collaborating within your group? I mean, are people finding, like you need an editor and she needs an illustrator? Are people connecting and?
Yes, we put out a anthology in November, and one of our members is a photographer, Chip Dyerly. He took the cover photo. The book was designed by Robin Kruzek, and I did it as a trade-out. She designed the cover, and I wrote about her graphic design business for Brides and Weddings magazine. So we do a lot of trade-out things.
Like bartering.
Yeah, Chip Dyerly has actually volunteered to update author photos for people so that they have a more current, professional-looking picture on either their blog or if they're in the market to start a website for their upcoming book or whatever. So a lot of bartering. We had a woman come to our last meeting who was simply looking for someone that she could buddy up with. I'll read what you're writing, you read what I'm writing. Let's push each other forward. So there's a buddy system too.
Well, I actually attended my first meetup with some of the writers this week, and I had such a good time. I was so impressed that everyone is so supportive, and I belong to a lot of groups, and sometimes there's competition among people in a group, but this group is not like that at all. Everybody is eager to promote everybody else.
We are like all boats rise. It's such a dynamic change in the industry these days. You're going from someone like Robert Bausch or Carol Bellicera, who are established local authors who have had their books published in mainstream by mainstream publishers. They're now looking at trying to do ebooks because the industry is changing so much. So we're all learning by the seat of our pants. Everyone's learning because there's a whole another industry out there that wants to take advantage of you. I'll do the marketing for you. I'll edit your book for you. You pay me this much, and then the promise is I'll get you out there in the mainstream, and it just doesn't work that way anymore.
If you do self-publishing, do you have the opportunity to reach a wide audience, or is it more limited?
Well, this is an area I'm learning myself. There's a writer in the group, Claudia Lefebvre, who's written 3 books, and I think she's young, paranormal, something like that. But anyway, she's written these 3 books. They're ebooks. She actually sold 7,700 ebooks last year of those 3 books. And she said normally for an independent publisher who would publish an ebook, you'd sell from 100 to 300 books.
Wow.
But she is learning that you write a book, promote that book, start writing your next book, promote those 2 books, write the next one, and either do a trilogy or a series, and then you build your fan base like that. And then there's another writer, Adelaide Lower, who is writing a book called The Red Ribbon, and she has her own website set up. It's beautiful. It says The Red Ribbon at the top. She has her blog that she writes blog posts. She has her Twitter feed. She has a photo gallery of pictures in 15th century Spain that she used to inspire her book that she's written. The only thing she doesn't have is her book. It's not out yet, but she is building this entire platform to market her book. So when her book comes out, everything's ready to go.
I learned that, I think it was day before yesterday, I met Nancy Kime, and she was really amazing. She had so much knowledge, but she was very adamant that you have to it has to be immediate. You can't, if you wait until your book is published, it's too late to promote it.
Exactly. Some places will not review your book if it's already out. They want to see it before it's out.
Well, those are the kind of things you would only learn by attending a group like that. Exactly. There's not a book going to tell you that, is there?
Exactly.
Okay. Sure.
And this is a verbal break. If you can move your mic down about 2 inches. There we go. You've got a good, strong voice. So just kind of look at each other and say, and I've got something I want to discuss now, and we got the verbal.
I want to segue.
Okay.
So we first met at Neighborhood Leaders Group. Is that where we
I
first
don't think
met?
there was a neighborhood leaders group. It
We met
was like
before
a
that.
conference.
Oh yeah, neighborhood
And
conference.
it was neighborhood volunteers that Pat Riley was trying to get together to help improve Prince William County. And I
Yeah.
was the renegade from Manassas City that just wanted to learn more. So you and I were doing parallel things,
We were picking up trash.
picking up trash in our neighborhoods. This was like 2008.
Yes.
When there was such a enormous change in the population, the crash of everyone
Yeah, the
losing
foreclosure.
their houses and stuff. And I even mowed a lawn like you did. It's like I had two little ladies on our street say, "Thank you for mowing that lawn," because it gets to the point where it's like, I don't want the crime that goes with it.
Absolutely.
So we empowered each other to take calculated risks to go out and clean up our neighborhoods, get more people involved, and learn more. I think the county does an excellent job of having opportunities for people to learn, both at the monthly neighborhood leaders group and the upcoming neighborhood conference in
That'll be in February.
February 23rd.
Yeah. We have a new neighborhood services coordinator, Kathy Holtzlander, and I'm looking forward to see how that's her first big job with
That's
Prince
great.
William County, is to get this conference going. So I'm eager to see it. This will be our how many years? Since 2008, we've had a conference ever longer than that, though, haven't we?
Manassas City has had one for 6 years, so, so it's probably parallel. But see, I went from meeting you, then I joined Neighborhood Watch, and then I became an active volunteer for the City of Manassas Neighborhood Services, helping them with their Big Day of Serving projects and neighborhood conference. And
I have to tell you, I'm envious of Manassas Neighborhood Services and the way that your community, your leadership works with the community. It's a
Yes.
beautiful thing to see.
great partners in the neighborhoods, too.
And everyone's supportive. Mayor Parrish gets
Yes.
right out there with everybody else. I
Yes.
love that. I think it's harder for us in the county because there are just so many people. That, I think our population is around 415,000. And because everyone commutes and they're gone endless hours, and when they get home, it's late. And
But you start that circle of caring people. Because my husband's from Secaucus, New Jersey. You go up there and it's very overpopulated, but there's people who literally live within a couple of blocks, and that's
so we first met at Neighborhood Leaders Group. Is that where we
I
first
don't think
met?
there was a neighborhood leaders group. It
We met
was like
before
a
that.
conference.
Oh yeah, neighborhood
And
conference.
it was neighborhood volunteers that Pat Riley was trying to get together to help improve Prince William County. And I
Yeah.
was the renegade from Manassas City that just wanted to learn more. So you and I were doing parallel things,
We were picking up trash.
picking up trash in our neighborhoods. This was like 2008.
Yes.
When there was such a enormous change in the population, the crash of everyone
Yeah, the
losing their
foreclosure.
houses and stuff. And I even mowed a lawn like you did. It's like I had two little ladies on our street say, "Thank you for mowing that lawn," because it gets to the point where it's like, I don't want the crime that goes with it.
Absolutely.
So we empowered each other to take calculated risks to go out and clean up our neighborhoods, get more people involved, and learn more. I think the county does an excellent job of having opportunities for people to learn, both at the monthly neighborhood leaders group and the upcoming neighborhood conference in
That'll be in February.
February 23rd.
Yeah. We have a new neighborhood services coordinator, Kathy Holtzlander, and I'm looking forward to see how that's her first big job with
That's
Prince
great.
William County, is to get this conference going. So I'm eager to see it. This will be our how many years? Since 2008, we've had a conference ever longer than that, though, haven't we?
Manassas City has had one for 6 years, so, so it's probably parallel. But see, I went from meeting you, then I joined Neighborhood Watch, and then I became an active volunteer for the City of Manassas Neighborhood Services, helping them with their Big Day of Serving projects and neighborhood conference. And
I have to tell you, I'm envious of Manassas Neighborhood Services in the way that your community, your leadership works with the community. It's a
Yes.
beautiful thing to see.
great partners in the neighborhoods too.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's supportive. Mayor Parrish gets
Yes.
right out there with everybody else. I
Yes.
love that. I think it's harder for us in the county because there are just so many people. You know, I think our population is around 415,000. And because everyone commutes and they're gone endless hours, and when they get home, it's late. And
But you start that circle of caring people. Because
Mm-hmm.
my husband's from Secaucus, New Jersey. You go up there and it's very overpopulated, but there's people who literally live within a couple of blocks, and that's where they shop, that's where they go to school, that's where all their friends are. So it's more a very solid community, and everybody knows each other, and everybody knows the problems, and they go to the city council meetings and try to improve things.
well, that's, I think, the basis for Neighborhood Watch builds that. It's like micro communities.
Building blocks.
So are you a Neighborhood Watch coordinator or just?
No, I was a member of Weems Neighborhood Watch.
Uh-huh.
We had like maybe 100 members, and then I stepped back as I got involved in other things, but it was a very active watch. In fact, they just had a picnic in August with a live band and everything, so, yeah.
I think the budget has been trimmed for the Crime Prevention Council, and we are not doing as, you know, we used to have National Night Out, and the motorcade would travel all over the county, and McGruff the Crime Dog, and all these motorcycles, and I think the budget has been trimmed. Now, the last 2 years, we've done a celebration in Manassas, I think, at Target. Have you been there for that?
Sure, no.
Yeah, they have a helicopter, and the police dogs were there.
I still like just the plain old block party.
I
One
do too.
person
And
pulls out
cookout.
a grill, somebody else pulls out the hot dogs, somebody gets the bikes out and the little orange cones, and just have a cul-de-sac or a one street, everybody come out and meet each other. And
We at Christmas time, I was in Occoquan, and maybe it's just small towns still have that built-in ability to connect with people, because we went, a friend of mine and I went to Occoquan, and we couldn't find the house we were looking for, and we pulled over, and there were people out in the yard, and we asked if they knew our friend, the friend we were looking for, and yes, they did. And you could just go right down there and turn right, and they'll be up there on top of the hill. And I was like,
But I think that's true of like Secaucus, New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
If you can build that building block, and I think the city of Manassas also does CERT training. Does the county do that?
they do.
also?
I have done that.
That's
Uh-huh.
another building block of everybody get to know your neighbor, so that when a disaster strikes, you can say there's a handicapped woman that lives
Yeah.
in this house, or you can do that, taking care of the situation before the first responders get there.
Yeah, I have taken that training. I'm glad to say I know what to do for my neighbors. We have an older population. Well, our neighborhood is pretty big, 664 houses just in our neighborhood. But some of them are original homeowners, and some of them are replacement homeowners, and some of them are renters. And but the original homeowners are becoming elderly, and so somebody needs to be looking after them. And I love that CERT training. That was an amazing.
Yes.
What's that stand for? Emergency Response Team.
Community
Yeah.
emergency response.
Mary Foley's volunteer Prince William does that. Bonnie Nayhouse teaches that. So as long as we're talking about community, would you like to talk a little bit about the backpack snack attack? I love that phrase.
In the same way I'm saying you can build a little circle, you will, when you build that circle, you'll find gaps. And one of the things I found in Manassas City, and I contacted the schools about this because something was going on up in Warwick, New York, where my sister-in-law lives. They had kids going home on the weekend that didn't have food, and they'd come back on Monday morning and maybe be eating the free lunch or free breakfast and be eating very slowly because they hadn't eaten anything all week. And so the teachers are on the front line seeing this stuff. So I contacted Sandy Thompson with the city schools, and I said, is this a problem in our community? And she said, yes, it is. So we met as a team. Cecily Anthony is their director of nutrition, and we sat down and talked about what the problem was, what we might do to address it. And then we contacted Warwick, New York, where they were doing this same backpack program, and got their advice on how to start it. And they said, start small, get community partners, and keep it just as simple as possible. So we did a 12-week pilot program in the spring of the first year, and it worked out well. 20 students, one school, and the kids that were identified were kids who had maybe an ill parent, a sudden crisis in the family, like someone had lost a job or there was an ill parent, and they weren't hooked into services yet. So it provided the child with 6 meals in a bag that was slipped into their backpack on a Friday or a Thursday and went home with them.
So when you say a meal, like
soup, like
Oh,
chicken soup or a Hormel, spaghetti dinner, shelf-stable milk, Dole cut-up pineapple pieces. Try to be as healthy as possible, but you can't do the fresh fruit or the fresh vegetables because sometimes kids will put that backpack in the closet and then pull it out Monday morning. So you didn't want anything bad to happen, but the parents were on board with it and everything. So we did the pilot. It was successful. We had Trinity Episcopal Church was the community partner, and then the next fall we took on another community partner, Grace United Methodist Church, and expanded it to 2 schools, 40 students. And the 2 years now that we've been doing it beyond that, kept it the same. We haven't grown it at all. We've just kept it at that 40 of the neediest kids in those 2 schools. So,
how did you identify those children?
that was something, none of the community partners had anything to do with that. That was very confidential through the schools, through the nurse or the guidance counselor or whatever. They handled that part of it.
I see.
And then we pulled in youth like the Key Club or the Honor Society or church youth group. They were the ones that would put the food on the table, walk around the table, and put the food in the packs. So.
I have talked to, well, I haven't spoken directly to Sandy Thompson, but I have been in communication with her, and I think her daughter is a Girl Scout, or
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I think they're going to try to launch a program in the county as well.
I spoke to another Girl Scout who wants to do one in Haymarket at Alvey Elementary School, and I think the Girl Scout Council has approved her application, but she still this month has to go before her Girl Scout Board of Review or whatever they call it to say exactly what she wants to do with her program, and she's now looking for partners that would help her out with that.
That's pretty amazing, isn't it? The kids helping kids. I love that.
Well, you learn more being hands-on. I had no idea this was a problem, and I think when you start to do the hands-on stuff, you realize that, that we all need to help each other through this.
We have an Optimist Club recently formed. We have like the longest name in the world. It's Occoquan, Woodbridge, Neabsco. You can just call us OWN. We're the OWN Optimist Club, but our projects are geared to support youth, and we have adopted Fannie Fitzgerald School. And I don't know that, I'm pretty sure that there is a need for that program because it is a Title I school. So I imagine that we will try to identify or locate help for that particular school. The Girl Scout that I was talking about, I believe, is interested in Bel Air Elementary School. So,
well, one of the offshoots of this weekend program was we realized that Manassas City didn't have any summer meals programs. The county does, and so this past summer a summer meals program was started. So these things tend to,
So you don't even think about that, really. I mean, that for the ordinary person, you just don't think. I mean, these kids are going to school and they get breakfast and lunch or reduced price lunch 5 days a week, but then on the weekend, what do they do? And in the
Right.
summer, what do they do? You just,
and it's more pressure on the teachers. And what I saw being a parent of 2 kids in schools, when you're a parent of a student, there's an enormous pressure on you to be involved in the school. This brings in people from the community, from the churches, from clubs, and brings them into the schools helping out.
I have to ask you, is there a stigma involved with that? I mean,
What do you
are
mean?
kids embarrassed or?
Well, it's very confidential. What they do is they'll put the packs in the nurse's office, and it is at the elementary level. You do get that stigma when it's at the middle or high school level. It can be embarrassing, so we've kept it at the elementary school level. But it's very confidential. The kids put their backpacks in the nurse's office. The nurse puts the packs in, and then they go home.
It's really interesting. Do you have other plans along those lines, or what's your big goal for this coming year? Do you have just one, or do you have 100?
Well, the whole thing with the writers, what we were talking about, is write. I mean, we can all sit around and talk about writing really well, but I really want to see a lot of these people who work high-powered DC jobs, always talked for 10 years, 20 years about writing a book. I want them to sit down and start doing it. It's as simple as setting goals, pacing yourself, writing a little bit each day, and actually getting it done. And I think when you get that kind of peer pressure, as well as the networking of, gee, you're still talking about that book, when are you going to get started on it? And just do it.
Well, that's part of the
So-
problem with
so
being
I have-
retired, isn't it?
So I have 2 books. I have a nonfiction book I'm like in a 4th draft on, and then a novel that I wrote in November during National Novel Writing Month.
You wrote a novel in 1
Yes.
month?
Yes, I'd never written a novel. I joined, it's like a national thing. You're challenged online to produce 50,000 words in 1 month. And I was able to meet that goal, but I only met that goal because I found out they also offer you support. There was actually a write-in at the Barnes & Noble coffee shop on Sudley Road, and I had missed like a week, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to make it. I went there, just sitting in the coffee shop with all these other people on their laptops. I put out 3,000 words, just sitting. It was like being in a newsroom or something. So that helped me reach the goal. And then I found out about this group. They actually meet the year round, every Monday night, 7 o'clock in the coffee shop, Barnes & Noble, Sudley Road, and just bring your laptop and buy some coffee and write.
I don't know if that would work for me. I'm more the type, don't come in here, I'm writing. Well, let's see. I know you want to talk about the, well, I really want to, I don't want to be rude, but I wanted to ask you about your big purple
Yes,
foot there.
I got a cast today. I had foot surgery 2 weeks ago, and what led me up to this was the Walk with Walgreens. It's a national program. It goes on all the time, but in the city of Manassas, they did this Step Up Challenge that started in August. People could sign up, and for the next 90 days, walk, eat healthy, lift weights, whatever it was that you felt you needed to do in your life to have a healthier life. So I thought, well, as a neighborhood services volunteer, I helped the city and Walgreens promote this program. And I thought, I'll sign up for it myself. Well, I had only walked a couple of days, and I realized I had a pain in my foot. And so I went to the doctor, and it was a long-term thing that had suddenly fallen over the cliff. My foot was going one way, my knee was going another. But it was the Walk with Walgreens that identified this. So I felt really good that, you know, having this whole, there were like 800 people who signed up for it. So I felt this community of support for, well, maybe I can't walk, but I met with a personal trainer. I started lifting weights. I went to my physician, and he now has me in a physician-led nutrition program. So I feel like even though I wasn't able to walk a step, the partnership of the city, challenge helped me face some of the long-term things that I needed to face up with. So that's one of my goals in 2013, is to get my foot straight and lose weight and lead a healthier lifestyle. And I do have a video that I brought with me if you wanted to
Oh,
show
I'd love
that.
to see that.
Okay.
Okay.
Morning, everybody. I want to introduce myself. My name is Rick Connor. I'm the district manager for Walgreens, and I want to thank everybody for coming today. As the City of Manassas and the great Walk with Walgreens Step Up Challenge, I'm glad to see a nice turnout here today. We got a great day, and Walgreens is really proud to be part of that and our commitment to community involvement. So I hope everybody has fun, and I wish everybody the best of luck.
Good morning. At this time, I want to introduce the team captains. We have the red team. This team captain is Leanne Best. We have the white team, which is Glenn Wickers. Our blue team, the team captain is Chief Doug Keene, who was unable to make it today. We do have one of his officers here. Officer Thurman. Okay, so we're going to end this with, I'm going to introduce, some of you may know him.
I've been given one responsibility this morning. Let's go walk! Lead the way, Rick!
We had just about 800 residents of Manassas sign up for the challenge. The team with the most weight loss combined will win a $5,000 community grant donated by Walgreens to help revitalize a part of the neighborhood within the city of Manassas. First, I just want to say on behalf of Walgreens, we're committed to helping people get well, stay well, and live well. And this Manassas Walk with Walgreens and Step Up Challenge is a great way to show our commitment to the community. So here's what we've all been waiting for. A lot of hard work and effort's been put into this weight loss challenge over the last couple months. So let's see who the winners are of each individual team.
The winner for the red team is Carrie Monson.
I started off when I gave birth to my son at 307 pounds. At that point, my brother passed away, I went through a divorce, gained some more weight. As I walked into a Walgreens to pick up a prescription, I met someone who was signing up for a Walgreens Walk Challenge, and they suggested I sign up. And after 10 weeks, I lost 10 pounds. But after almost 8 months, I've lost a total of 65 pounds. Now I'm happy and healthy, and I'd like to thank Walgreens. Today I found out that I am a winner from the red team, and my red team has also won $5,000 through the Walk Challenge.
Please stay and have fun, face painting, still raffles up here for prizes. We got our Way to Well tour bus over there giving free health screenings. We got our pharmacist over there for flu shots. And just enjoy yourself. We really love being out here. We're happy to be with the community. And we hope everybody had a good time and that you walked to the road to a healthier community and healthier you. Thank you. You're very welcome. Congratulations. That's great.
I'm Leanne Best. I was captain of the red team for the Manassas City Step Up Walk with Walgreens. I was delighted and surprised to be asked to be part of this program, and I'm very happy with my results. Obviously, my winning team. I had 125 roughly people from my neighborhood sign up, typed in all their email addresses, and kept in regular touch with them throughout the 10 weeks, sending them updates and news flashes and information from Walgreens on the free classes and free flu shots, things like that. I also set up a Facebook page, and I think that was probably the biggest key to our success. I had regular updates on there. I put on recipes and health tips, and I also organized regular walks, group walks that any of the members could join up on, and I would post that information on Facebook. So people came to the walks, people gave information on their own personal stories, and a lot of people actually met with each other and took walks on their own without us. So we made some social bonding in addition to just getting out there for health reasons. I'm thrilled we won, not surprised, because the blue and white team did not do nearly as much as I did, so ha to them. But I'm excited that we'll be able to put in our neighborhood grant requests and to beautify our community. Thank you to Walgreens.
Just want to let you know we had a great event in Old Town Manassas today. We walked from the Harris Pavilion to Walgreens here on Wellington Road. And the Walk with Walgreens program has been absolutely fantastic for Manassas and helping people stay fit. And I'd like to challenge the other mayors in the Northern Virginia area, all over the Commonwealth of Virginia, and even everywhere Walgreens is, to work with Walgreens to help their citizens to keep fit. And I want to particularly talk about Scott York from Loudoun County. He's the chairman. Sharon Bulova from Fairfax County. Bill Ewell from Alexandria, Fairfax City, Vienna, Occoquan, all those other communities that have where Walgreens is, walk with Walgreens and help their citizens stay fit.
All in all, I think this was a great community event. I'm glad to see that the Red Team won, and the $5,000 grant will go to help revitalizing the city of Manassas. But when it's all said and done, we are all winners. As long as everybody took steps and learned to a healthier life, I think it's a win-win for everybody.
So again, Cindy, thank you so much for coming tonight. I really enjoyed your visit. All right, thanks. I hope you will join us again. I'd like to call Bill in just to say goodbye, if you don't mind, and tell us a little bit about what we might going to be doing next.
Thank you for coming, Cindy, and thank you. You did a great job.
Aw.
Hi, I'm Bill Golden, and I'm the producer, and my mission and our purpose here each week is to talk about issues of concern to Prince William and the region which impacts Prince William. You know, we're part of the National Capital Area, but we're also part of the Mid-Atlantic, we're part of the heartland of Virginia, and there are so many things that affect Prince William. And we have an interesting future ahead of us. So if you'd like to peer with us each week, we can talk about politics, we can talk about economics, we can talk about transportation, assuming that you get off I-95 in time to actually be here. We can talk about almost anything you want if it affects Prince William. So if you'll just look at, you're already watching our video, if you'd look at the bottom of the screen, there's contact information, and just tell us what you'd like to talk about and your availability, and we'll be in contact with you. This is Bill Golden for Nights at the Round Table with our special guest. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week.